I'm Mike Uyak. I love to try new things, and I've had culinary adventures all around the world, as well as right at home. I've had really wonderful food, as well as some really horrible food. I'd like to share some of my adventures with you, and we'll see if I have what it takes to fix whatever goes wrong. This is Recipe Redemption. Chew on this idea for a moment. Double cheeseburger pie. Okay, think about that for a moment. It's not a new idea, actually. You may not have heard of it or thought about the idea, but other people have. If you actually do a little research on the internet, you'll find lots of recipes for bacon double cheeseburger or just hamburger pies. A lot of them are more like kind of like shepherd's pie, but with cheddar or American cheese, and ground beef is still a main component of it. Others kind of go in a quiche direction, which is fine too, but what got me on this idea was something that I saw on Facebook, which was an ad, and I don't think it says what restaurant actually serves this, but it looks like double cheeseburger pie served at a restaurant called Banjo's. I don't know where that is. I didn't really care to look. I'm not going there just to have this, but it's more of what my concept of what a double cheeseburger pie would be, in that you want the patties to be distinct, the layers of cheese to be distinct, and all the toppings that you would normally put onto a double cheeseburger. So you want your ketchup, you want your mustard, you want your pickles. Probably going to leave out lettuce, because I don't really like putting lettuce on burgers anyway. Seems kind of pointless. If I want a salad, I'll have a salad. I don't want a salad. But, and same goes for the tomato, really. If I'm putting ketchup on it, then I really don't need the tomato. It's kind of redundant. And, baking a slice of tomato when you really want the tomato to be cool and crisp, it's not necessary, and it's going to be kind of a waste of effort. So I just want to recreate this at home. See if it can be done, if it's any good, and see what we come up with. Now, one thing I do note, because it's just a picture that I'm working off of, I'm not 100% sure when they say double cheeseburger pie, if it actually uses pie crust, or if we're using something like puff pastry, that we're just wrapping this in puff pastry. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to try both. Alright, let's play with some pie dough. I'm going to be using a muffin tin, so I sort of measured the opening of the muffin tin, and I'm just using this bowl as a pastry cutter to cut out rounds that are just a bit larger, about 1 inch larger all the way around than my muffin tin, so that I can sort of very carefully fold and shove my pie dough down into the silicone muffin molds, and then sort of flute the edges outward. I'm making 4 of these. It's a little bit of an experiment here, and don't forget, this is pie dough, so you need to dock the bottom. Make sure that the bottom doesn't poof up at all, and might as well do it on the sides as well. I threw those in the oven to bake at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm taking some plastic wrap. I'm going to sprinkle a little water on it, and you'll see why in a second here. I bought these hamburger patties at the store. They were the cheapest form of ground beef that I had, but they're obviously going to be too large to fit into these muffin tins, and quite frankly too thick for my purposes.
So I'm just going to lay them out here on my moistened plastic wrap, sprinkle a little bit more water on top of them, and then another piece of plastic wrap on top of that. I think you know where I'm going with this, especially if you watched my meat pizza episode. Yep, I'm going to use my rolling pin to squash these out flat. And actually, I'm starting in the middle and rolling inwards. I'm trying to actually get these 4 patties to sort of meet and merge in the middle if I can. If they don't, it's not a huge deal, but I'm trying to because I'm a little OCD like that. I've got it all squished down now, about a little bit under a ½ inch thick, and I'm just going to peel the top of that plastic wrap off. And I'm going to measure the muffin tin liner that I have, these silicone liners that I really like, and I'm looking for a cutter about the size of the top of the muffin liner. So this measuring cup seems to do the job. And I'm just going to cut out a bunch of rounds. This is going to go onto a sheet pan, and it's going to go into the same oven that the pie dough blanks are going to go into. Oven's already going to be hot, so might as well just use that heat for more than one thing, right? Here are our pie bottoms out of the oven, and here are our little mini hamburger slider patties. Now to deal with the puff pastry. I'm going to do the same thing. This comes out of the box tri-folded, so I had to thaw it a little bit and press those seams down. And I'm going to do the same thing. Cut them into rounds and sort of carefully fold and shove them down into my muffin tin. Once all of those are done, time to assemble my cheeseburger pie. Take a small patty. I'm going to take this American cheese slice and fold it into quarters so I have slices of cheese that will actually fit. Then a little pickle. You know where this is going. A little bit of ketchup. I discovered to my chagrin I didn't have any around, so luckily I know what goes into ketchup, so I made some. And I did have some mustard left over, ironically enough from my French's mustard ice cream. And lather, rinse, repeat. I don't think I need to tell you how to make a cheeseburger. Now to top these pies. Now the reason that I did it this way is I wanted to see what combination would work best. So here I have the blind baked pie bottoms, and I'm putting actual pie dough on the top. And I'm doing 2 of each because I'm serving these for dinner. So Chris gets to try these as well. And the second one, same deal, rolling up the edges so it looks like a nice little pie. Realized that the puff pastry dough, I was just going to put a circle on top. I wasn't really going to need that large of a circle, so I used the same cutter. And here we have the pie dough bottom, puff pastry top. And a second one. Now the puff pastry bottom and puff pastry top. And a second one. And then the puff pastry bottom, pie dough top. Again, rolling up the edges so it's pretty. And for all of these, you're taking a nice little egg wash to make sure that they brown up nice. And these go back into that 400-degree oven for about another 12 or 13 minutes until golden brown and delicious. once I remove the muffin liners, this is what they look like. Yeah, they're not pretty, but that wasn't really what I was going for. This was more of a proof of concept than anything else.
Okay, experimental success. I did indeed make the double cheeseburger pie as advertised. And of the 4 different versions, I think I liked the pie crust bottom, puff pastry top the best. The pie crust, especially blind baking it ahead of time, means that it actually gets cooked all the way through and it doesn't get soggy. Pre-cooking the burger certainly helped, but it just doesn't get soggy the way that the puff pastry did. The puff pastry doesn't really like to be contained by anything, so shoving it down into the muffin tin didn't really do it any favors because there were so many layers of insulation around it, the silicone liner as well as the muffin tin itself sort of insulating it from the heat source. It never really had a chance to do what it was intended to do and actually puff up, but also bake up nice and crisp. So I think the pie dough on the bottom was the best, and I do like the little bit of puff pastry on the top that sort of poofed up and give it a little extra height. I didn't put sesame seeds like the picture shows, but meh. It was a cheeseburger. At the end of the day, it still tasted like a cheeseburger. The one possible benefit to this is sort of an added portability factor because it is contained into a pie, and if you actually seal it well, which I didn't really, but assuming that you did, it means that your cheeseburger is a little bit better protected and is a little bit more portable. So you could actually take this somewhere, one presumes, throw it into a toaster oven or a microwave or something, heat it up, and have yourself your cheeseburger wherever you are, without worrying about the bun getting soggy, because the pie crust kind of keeps that contained. Yeah, so it was a success. I'm not doing it again because honestly, when I want a cheeseburger, I'll go make a cheeseburger. I guess on the off chance that you have ground beef and cheese on hand and you don't have hamburger buns, but for some reason you have pie dough around, you could punt. Uh, So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you have any other ideas for me to try, please, by all means, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell down below for notifications. You know the drill. But until next time, I'm Mike Uyak, and I'd like to thank you for watching Recipe Redemption. See you later.